Schedule changes, all that jazz. All right, so this is another build around submission request. We had someone ask me to build black-white Gideons, black-white control, whatever you want to call it. So while this deck does have a number of interactive elements between Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, Stone, and Murderous Rider, and even Realm-Cloaked Giant here at the top end, this deck also has a number of ways that can end the game relatively quickly, whether it's Gideon the Trials attacking for 4 each turn, or History of Benalia making some tokens and making them bigger, or Gideon Ally of Zendikar pumping out endless stream of tokens. One small synergy to note here, which is sweet, is that Gideon Ally of Zendikar makes Knight Ally tokens, so if you curve History into Gideon, the token Gideon makes on turn 4 will also get pumped by History when it pops off on turn 5. I've got Orzhov Enforcer here as just a Death Touch Afterlife, just like kind of like a value creature that's also a good blocker, because there aren't a ton of good 2-mana like removal spells in this format, especially instant speed. So I like this as just something I can play out that then trades profitably in combat and leaves a little bit something extra behind. Realm-Cloaked Giant seems like it might be a little bit too clunky. This is not corporate America, so I always ask that you leave the buzzwords at home. So rather than saying this magic buzzword like clunky, describe in specifics why you think the card isn't good. That's welcome. Just saying buzzwords like clunky isn't descriptive and doesn't convey accurately what you actually mean. Because I, for instance, think that this Realm-Cloaked Giant is quite agile, and he's going to be on a rolling release schedule soon that will make our customers very happy. He's customer focused and very synergy driven. Sun's Champion, I think 5 versus 6 is a big deal. I also think having a full board clear is important. There's been a lot of different sizes of creatures in this format. I've got an Elspeth Sun's Champion in the sideboard, but I think playing a bunch of her in the main is probably not reasonable. Customer centric. Sorry, I've been out of the business world for a while. Customer centric. I'll add that to my Buzz Speak repertoire. The Dragons deck did not feel good. Cast Down, that's an interesting thought. That's not a removal spell that I've had in my list of removal spells I've been playing, but that's one worth considering for sure, I think. Maybe Full Metal. Glory Banger is a heck of a card. Glory Banger is pretty good. Giant is clunky because it doesn't add tempo to our velocity and our synergistic approach to growth. Excellent. That was peak buzzwords. I approve. Something I don't think I've plugged yet today. If you've been enjoying the pile of Pioneer content I've been doing, or if you've not been enjoying it and you want to see something a little bit different moving forward, I'm going to be sending out a sub survey tomorrow afternoon. So if you're someone who's been thinking about subbing and you want to make your voice heard on the channel, now is a good time to do it. The survey is going to dictate not only just generically what's going to be going on in the channel in the future, but definitely heavily for the next 2 weeks, because we have 2.5 weeks at a minimum before any standard changes happen. I'm interested to see what amount of standard content people want. Oi, Punks, thanks for the 13 months. Welcome back. My paper deck. I don't own paper Magic cards. Lovestruck Beast is an interesting one in Green Devotion. It's a good quality beater. They have 8 1/1 mana elves that enable it as well. Oh, they're just playing an aggro deck. That's hot. So, Heir of the Wilds here, 2/2 Death Touch. When it attacks, if you control a power with 4 or greater, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn. I played a lot of this card in Standard, it's sweet. Oh, I've made a huge mistake. I actually should have played the Fabled Passage here, so I could Fatal Push Lovestruck Beast this turn. That's a big deal. I guess we'll just Fatal Push Heir of the Wilds now, but I definitely should have played Fabled Passage here. Oh, are they not? All right, interesting. Ultimate Price could be good. Yeah, Ultimate Price and cast this main deck. Oh no! Oh no, and now it triggers itself? We activated their trap card, chat. We've activated their trap card. Oh no. Oh, yikes. Vomit. So remember that time we died? Anybody else remember that time we died? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Pepperidge Farm remembers. In for Orzhov Enforcer. I would like to end Lovestruck Beast, and I'm going to learn from my mistake and do this now. Yeah, I thought Veil of Summer was coming. Little did I know something much worse for me was about to happen. All right, so well, I'm definitely just eating the 1/1 now and going to 3. So Enforcer's a pretty sweet draw because it lets me go Enforcer plus Murderous Rider this turn. Oh yeah, the Nerd Rage tournament. If you want the Blue-Green Eldrazi deck should be on my Stream Decker if you want to look at that up. Not attacking my 4/3 into their 5/5. Obviously. I think I can confidently say that Infect is not good in this format. Mostly because it's not legal. Styles, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Oh, I wonder if they're like, are they about to Collected Company us? Gosh, you find this card off Coco too? There are so many sweet decks in this format. A lot of sweet monocolored decks, too. This is Rad Chad. No company. All right, maybe they're out of gas. Once upon a time, there was a Kaya's Wrath, maybe? I don't know. I kind of like the body. I think people are gonna undervalue how good the body is. Definitely want all my cheap removal. This Fog's a creature, right? Yes, that's pretty good. What do I want to cut here? Is that crazy to just cut the Thoughtseizes? Oh, Solemn Visitor. I guess Solemn Visitor makes... Solemn Visitor gives lifelink. He kind of just gets beat up, though. I'm going to trim at least one of these. Yeah, maybe Kaya's Wrath is better than Languish. I could see that. The resource efficiency on this card is nice. I'm going to trim one Gideon of the Trials. Hey, Gabja. I love watching me some good old historic, Pioneer. Thanks for the tier 2. Be sure to take a peek at the deck queue and let me know a deck you'd like to see a bit sooner in there. I appreciate the support. I think black is castable. I don't know that Grasp is strictly better than Enforcer, but it could be an addition to if I was looking to fill up the 2 slot some more. I could see that. I think Orzhov Enforcer is like a pretty reasonable card against any of these decks that are looking to play to the board. Yeah, I think that's great actually, right? We get to go 2, 3, 4 here. Yorbo. I wonder if they're a great henge deck. All right, learning from our mistakes of the past. We're gonna cast this now. They put the fear of blossoming in me, chat. I'm scared, chat. I've been hurt before. You can find all of my favorite decks, Mathematic, on my website here. Think we just want to end him swiftly. And then next turn we can play chat out and start making some 2/2s. Taking the Lovestruck Beast off the table preemptively is also good in the event that they are playing Great Henge. Well, I can never block that card, so that's unfortunate. They didn't attack with Land War Elves, so that means no attack with Land War Elves there means that they definitely have a Blossoming Defense or whatever it's called, so. Yeah, there's no Phyrexian mana spells in this format. No Force of Will, no Force of Negation. That's a great draw. So, getting to the trials there, +1s to prevent damage a permanent would deal until end of turn. So we'll be able to play that Gideon out and then plus it on Steel Leaf Champion. Yeah, they could have Veil. They could definitely have Veil. Oh! Murderous Rider works with History of Benalia too. That's so good. I definitely forgot about that interaction. Our boy is a knight. Remember we were talking about it using Deathrite Shaman versus Scavenging Ooze? Deathrite Shaman is awful. I don't think Deathrite Shaman's a playable card in this format. Deathrite Shaman's only good when it can make mana, and when it can't make mana, the rest of its abilities just aren't good enough. Yes, Pioneer build-arounds are 35 currently. Yep, and that's what that question is asking. It's a cheeky way to say how much money you plan to send in with it. I guess if I Gideon an Emblem, I can double block the Steel Leaf Champion, right? So like that's worth noting. I mean, there's no guarantee they have a Blossoming Defense though, Fide. Like if they don't have Blossoming Defense, like this just locks it down and then that's really good for me. Aspect of the Hydra. Yeah, that card's legal, isn't it? So, Gideon, this Gideon ally of Zendikar can just make me an emblem that gives all my creatures +1/+1. So, now, these can attack into here, and they can threaten to double block this on the backswing, which is nice. The red prowess decks have seemed very reasonable. We played a red-green prowess deck on stream in the past. You can find that on my YouTube channel on my website. Yeah, I don't think Deathrite Shaman is likely very good in this format. Do I trade with Lovestruck Beast instead of this because they could have another one of these in their hand? What are the odds they're playing 4 of him? I feel like there's a chance that they are, right? Yeah, we played a Sultai deck. I don't think we were playing Dig Through Time in the build that we played. I'm pretty sure the challenge list was playing Dig. Unfortunate. All right, so their hand's now empty. No one has any idea the answer to that question, Coder Chris. It's kind of a silly question to ask, because the answer is we don't know. I think I'm just going to play Murderous Rider here. Man, that feels bad, though. If I Gideon, make a token, I have to double chump block. Sorin can give lifelink, but I can't attack in with the Knight token anyways. I could Sorin lifelink. Then the problem is, like, what if they... The different Sorin. This is Sorin Solemn Visitor. I think I'm just going to cast Murderous Rider. I think all of our options kind of suck here. Could really wanted to draw. I guess Realm-Cloaked Giant's actually super bad here, huh? That actually, Realm-Cloaked Giant's a reason to have traded off with Yorvo. If I block like this, I take 7, but I'm going up to 9, so that's fine. I'm dead to a pump spell, but I think I'm dead to pump spells regardless, so yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, Sorin is lifelink for a full turn cycle, which is great. Brutal. This is the punish for playing the Murderous Rider last turn. I can't double spell this turn now. This lets this Knight token attack into the Steel Leaf Champion, though. They honestly might just want to trade here. Yeah. So I chump block Yorvo, I end up at 3. And then if I draw a land next turn, I can Gideon, make a token, and Noxious Grasp Yorvo. That's true. The overlay can be an elk. God, can you just stop drawing gas for just like a turn? We're dead now, right? Yeah. That was a close game. Close game considering we never saw a sweeper. Yep. Just gonna go ahead and run it back, I think. Actually, do I want Sun's Champion? I'm gonna cut these Thoughtseizes on the play. This is just not good enough. Yeah, this is sweet. Needs a 4th land, but has a good 2-3, 2-3-4 curve as is, right? We could Deck in Stone plus Grasp plus make a blocker. Yeah, maybe you're right, actually. Maybe that was a little premature. No, I agree. I agree with the comment. They get 2 draws, but maybe they finally draw some lands. Thanks, Karmazen. I appreciate the feedback. Yeah, there's some cards that don't look great with the setup. Like, obviously, History of Benalia is a bit medium. And, like, the Planeswalkers don't fit in perfectly. One of the things that's super awkward is the size of the artwork on these Moto cards is different. And it's not even just Planeswalkers. Like, some of the lands versus the creature. Like, how much of the artwork shows is different card to card. Their Let's Play Pulp Collector? Probably. We've not seen it yet, though. Easiest block of my life. I bet they just have a second one. Fair. The Jolly Green Giant is here. And again, Gideon makes Knight Ally tokens, so make a 2/2 that's going to get pumped by History next turn. How many Sagas we'll see play in this format? Maybe the 5-mana blue one that returns instants and sorceries will be in some kind of degenerate combo deck, but other than that, probably just History. Makes sense to layer it so that your face is behind the frame and just make it a little... I don't understand what you're saying, Pelly. Undying cards are not legal. Those were Innistrad block. This is a super aggressive attack. Oh, they're attacking Gideon. I guess that makes sense. I could take the effort to finally set up a green screen and just green screen myself. Is a possibility I could do too. Oh, that's a good draw. Well, I was gonna attack with Gideon this turn, but now let's just keep pumping out the bros. Mono bros, chat. All about that bro life. Giving him a history lesson, yep. The standard staple combo of history plus history, yep, basically. Would love to see a 2-mana removal spell next turn so we can, like, activate Shambling Vent plus do that. Any big payoff would be fine, too. Yorvo's a big boy. That's unfortunate. So... what if I just emblem this turn? Is it crazy to just, like, emblem and smash them? If I emblem and smash them, they could, like, eat one, double block another, and then they're taking, like, 9s. They're gonna have to triple block. They're gonna have to chump block. Like, I'm nowhere near dead on the backswing. I'm like, I'm gonna have at least 3 knights next turn to pop up with. But, like, Yorvo's gonna be... Yorvo's gonna be on defense next turn for them, which is unfortunate. Maybe I shrink their board enough that that doesn't matter. Yeah, let's just smash them. This embleming Gideon means I don't have to chump block for Gideon next turn, and not having to chump block for them is, like, very similar to just, like, not making a token anyways, so, like... And, like, God forbid we draw, like, another ally of Zendikar or, like, a Sorin next turn, and, like, pump up the jam even more. So I assume we'll see them double block one of the 3/3s. They could have pump spells here too, I assume. I guess we could see, like, Blossoming Defense. Yeah, if they have, like, pump spells to, like, trade with these, my history is a lot worse next turn then. Yeah, so I'm losing... Wow, am I going to lose all of them? This was kind of like worst case scenario. This is kind of worst case scenario. Because, like, now they have Yorvo back, and I just can't, I can't attack in. Like, I only get one history buff this turn. I'm at 23 and have Shambling Vent, so, like, their ability to attack us is, like, kind of medium. Yeah, we did trade off for 2 Blossoming Defenses, so, like, we got cards out of them. So, like, our next removal spell is pretty likely to work. Like, if we draw removal this turn... How about another land? That's great. My opponent's drawn 2 lands in 15 cards. And we've had 8 lands in 12 cards. Really? We've only had 4 spells this game? That's so frustrating. Sometimes magic sucks. Sometimes magic sucks. Wonder if they're playing Collected Company. I feel like not playing Company is a bit of a mistake. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, that's one of the things Mythgard does really well, right? Like, Mythgard removes that resource variance from the game. It is worth noting here that if this Realm-Cloaked Giant had been... If this Realm-Cloaked Giant had been a Kaya's Wrath. Yeah, the Realm-Cloaked Giant. Kaya's Wrath flipped my mind when I was building this. When I was like, Damnation's not legal, Wrath of the Gods not legal. The standard legal one slipped my mind. So Yorvo's a giant. So this destroys non-giants, so this didn't actually clear the board. So the reason I conceded there was because their 9/9 wasn't dying. So we finally drew a spell and it was the wrong spell. And again, like, that's part of my mistake too, is like playing cards that are conditional in your control deck means you're hoping your interaction lines up well. And while the payoff for this would be good, now I think Fumigate's bad. I think Kaya's Wrath's the card that I want. I think I'd rather just like I'm gonna have enough creatures that gaining life off Kaya's Wrath is better, and like I'm gonna gain life off of Kaya's Wrath, chat. My deck has a lot of tokens in it. What, like, Cataclysmic Gearhulk would have been awful there. Cataclysmic Gearhulk was awful there for a lot of the same reasons that, that Cast-Off was bad there. There aren't really any good giants in Pioneer, like Yorvo, and, Yorvo, they're all the standard giants are the only ones that are good here, and they're still kind of medium there. Guys, Kaya's Wrath is definitely the card we should be playing. Stop looking for other bad cards, because we should just play the good one. Like your Is It Charm, please. Yeah, Kaya's Wrath is great. Resource efficiency is important. Perfect. Get to take their other Is It Charm here. And then Gideon gets to resolve next turn. You giving me mod back froze Twitch for me. What a good quality piece of software Twitch is. That's a heck of a feature. Maybe I should just play the untapped land and smash them with a Shambling Vent here. Just, like, be aggressive. You know, leaving up the removal spell is good if they have, like, Arclight Phoenix. Perfect. Look at that. Look at that. Sniffed it. Sniffed it out, chat. Got him. Oh! Oh, is that a good one to take, chat? Is that a good one to take? Ba-bee! All right. The roundabout 3 for 1. Decent. And hey, we just put 3 Rest in Peace in our sideboard. That sounds great. Who's ready to play Rest in Peace in this matchup? I know I am. Get in my deck. Declaration in Stone is also decent against Phoenix. Realm-Cloaked Giant's too slow here. Orzhov Enforcer is bad. I probably don't mind Ob Nixilis Reignited. I definitely want Duress. I don't think I want Collective Brutality here. That's probably too slow. I mostly put this on the board for the prowess decks. Yeah, the Pioneer numbers have been good. I think our average viewer count for yesterday ended up in like 1,400 or so, which is great for an all moto day. Dan's great. Need some lands, but we've got a Temple of Silence. The sound of silence. Do 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 do. Yeah, I agree, Kid Martian. I feel like they've been working on printing better answers, but like the things that are busted in Modern are just like so busted that like their answers just don't keep up. I think I just take Chandra here. Because Rest in Peace kind of covers Treasure Cruise. There is the danger of them drawing a 1-mana spell and getting the Phoenix back this turn, so there could be merit to like taking their Merchant of the Veil there, or like their Wild Slash there. Sorry, that was a Duress. Couldn't take Merchant. Land. Perfect. I mean, I just want to make it abundantly clear that even if Wizards of the Coast really wants to get this format on Arena, that's not trivial for them to do. A lot of unrealistic people have been acting like the reason why this format isn't on Arena is because they don't want it to be there. Like, chat, they can barely make Arena function without lagging constantly. You expect them to add a whole nother format to it? The thing I was most upset about with regards to the Pioneer release was the fact that they're not supporting Historic. They could very easily be supporting Historic, and they're not. Yeah, I agree. Backcoding the number of sets would be difficult, even if they had a ton of resources at their disposal. And based on what's happened so far, it's very obvious that they don't have a ton of resources at their disposal. Would Heart of Koran be useful in this deck? That's actually a really good thought. I think that's a great suggestion, actually. Yeah, Heart of Koran and Kaya's Wrath. I have my notepad. I'm going to write that down. Heart and Kaya's Wrath. I take little notes while we play of things that sound like they might be good or not. Oh, you know what? I messed up here. So, if I would have fired up Shambling Vent, I could have killed their Planeswalker this turn. But they have a Wild Slash, they're going to kill my Knight ally, so their Planeswalker doesn't die. Although if they Wild Slash here, that means they can't Is-a-Charm my Ob Nixilis, so like, getting Ob Nixilis to resolve here is like pretty good, right? Like, Ob Nixilis straight up draws cards, whereas this just loots. And like, with Rest in Peace in play, looting's not that big of a deal. They have about half the sets on Arena. Yep. All right, so we beat Phoenix pretty handily. We would have beat Mono Green if we'd have run a little bit better and or our deck had been built better. If these were just Kaya's Wraths, I think we would have definitely beat the Mono Green deck. So they plan for a significant investment into Arena the next year. Not hold my breath. I'm going to keep this on the play. It's a good draw. Let's us get some information here before we use our Scryland. Can let us make a more intelligent Scry. Alright, I'm just going to take their Spell Queller so my stuff can resolve. Doomblade? That's not a Doomblade. Yeah, I think Rider's great. I think Rider's very good. Can WotC fix their dopamine bending machine so I can put in dollars and press the shiny buttons? No, it's just some OBS magic, Psycho Squirrel. So they're passing here? Well, I guess if you're passing, I'm just going to cast Murderous Rider instead of Gideon. So, like, this is a decision. Because, like, if I draw a removal spell for this Spell Queller, I get to recast Swift End on this. So, like, they're giving me another removal. This is for Blue-White Narset Pioneer. I submitted last night. Hopefully some extra bits. Get it in a bit sooner. No rush. Might tweak it. But nothing major. Sounds good, Polly. Yes, as a heads up for $25 to $30 submission, I'm probably 2 to 3 weeks out on Pioneer decks. Just because there's that much demand. My goal is to play somewhere between 10 and 12 Pioneer decks a week. But that's still, that still leaves me a lot of backlog. Feeling pretty dead here. Definitely need that sweet sweeper. Beyond Sadistic, thanks for the 9 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Another relevant problem with big investment next year is retention. I bet large sums of non-enfranchised MTGA players will soon be gone with bad experiences. Yeah, I agree. They're gonna have a hard time. They're gonna have a hard time regaining trust among new customers. I am still planning to play Brawl tomorrow. Oh, they're ignoring Gideon. That's good for me. That's excellent. Are we in non-subscriber only mode? We have cheer Twitch points, whatever it's called. Shillings. Hey, thanks for doling out some sub gifts, Trent. I appreciate that. Hope you have an excellent day. You think WotC will course correct and address concerns over how little arena support there seems to be? Is that something that I would be surprised? I have little faith. Thanks for the 13 months, Soms. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thime Walk, thanks for the 12 months. Let's get you, make sure you have a sword to go with that shield. I appreciate the support. Yeah, next turn we're going to play Sorin plus Gideon plus Sorin. I think Pioneer was made to get people to play Moto again since Arena's taken. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I feel like the conspiracy theories about they want to push Moto more than Arena are kind of baseless. I think a lot of it is just, you know, their teams don't communicate with each other. And like things that feel like a conspiracy are actually just them kind of like not communicating well as within their teams. I think it's kind of making mountains out of molehills. Never attribute malice that which incompetency adequately explains, etc. Yeah, incompetence over malice. Can my gifted sub go towards team or prowess? It definitely can. Maybe I want Ob Nix more than I want Gideon to the trials, just because this is a Doomblade that doesn't get countered by, doesn't get spellquellered. I can see that. Alright, let's do it. Hasbro's gaming category, including gaming revenue, most notably Magic the Gathering, Monopoly, totaled a little under $500,000 and $1 million for the quarter and 9 months into September, respectively, up 0.3% and 12.7% respectively. Yeah, I mean they're making money. Okay, and here's part of the problem too, for people that aren't familiar with corporate America. So the issue is that we're all playing Arena and experiencing issues, right? Imagine walking into a boardroom and being like, listen, guys and gals and folks on the committee, I know that Arena is making money hand over fist, but it has a ton of issues and we need more resources to fix these issues and make it better. The people who just sit there and look at spreadsheets all day are going to look at you sideways and be like, the money printing machine can't possibly have issues. How could it possibly be printing money if it's as broken as you say it is? So like convincing people who make the decisions that like there's an issue with their machine that prints money is difficult. What qualifications do you have to talk about corporate America? Well, you see, I exist on Twitch, which means I am a lawyer, a doctor, and a part-time astronaut, as well as a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I am someone who has an incredible wealth of experience interacting with Wizards of the Coast products over the course of the last decade, and who knows people that work and have worked at Wizards of the Coast, and who is capable of reading the reviews on GlassdoorReviews.com. That's my qualification to talk about the issues that are systematic to why Wizards products are what they are. Well, that's brutal. I've done the math and that checks out. God bless. You play Magic, are you sure you can read? That's a good question. I don't know. All I'm gonna say is I've definitely had pessimism beaten into me by Wizard of the Coast decisions over the course of the last whatever, just because like Magic Online is what it is, and it's never been quite as successful as Arena, but like Magic Online's been quite popular and made a lot of money for a long time. And like Magic Online never saw like huge improvements, even though it makes them plenty of money. So my expectations are set to pessimistic or realistic or whatever you want to call it. Basically let me know. Glassdoor is sweet. It's kept me from walking into some big mistakes. Really lets you know why so many corporations have NDAs. Yep. What is your schedule for Arena content? I'm only playing Arena tomorrow, this week. And next week, I'm planning to do a couple of days of Arena. You can always find my schedule on my website. I'm going to be sending out a sub-survey this week, tomorrow, after we do Brawl, to get feedback on what my schedule's been like. If you're someone that wants to see more Arena content in spite of Standard being god-awful, you're going to want to make sure you fill out that form. If you want to see more Pioneer content, because Standard is god-awful, you're going to want to fill out that form. So what my schedule is going to look like will be dictated by what the people who pay me want to see. That'll go out tomorrow afternoon after I'm done being live. Thanks for the 12 months, tutors. I appreciate the support. You are not alone. The Pioneer content is poppin'. I'm going to push this now just so we don't get rattle chains. What do we do if we want more vintage content? You send me a giant pile of money. How big is giant? At least into the triple digits. My friend Ben can convince me to do most things. Ben and I, we go way back. Murderous Rider is actually quite bad against Selfless Spirit here. And in fact, because it's so bad against Selfless Spirit, while they're tapped out, I'm just going to cast Murderous Rider, because next turn, Murderous Rider is going to be able to get a bonus from History of Benalia. So I'm going to go ahead and pass here, because I don't really want to trade this. Actually, do I? Yeah, I'm going to attack in, because next turn they could probably play another blocker and then fog my attack. So if they want to trade here, I'm okay with that. More than Big Ben. And if we hit an untapped land here, Ob Nixilis can't be Spellquellered. Well, that can be Spellquellered, but we're probably jamming it anyways. If they do anything inside of combat here, my Gideon gets to resolve most likely. Sands a Spell Pierce, Gideon's coming down, which feels good. Which Spell Pierce is legal and playable. Yep. Spectral Sailor, deal. In for Spectral Sailor. Yeah, part of the problem with Vintage, too, is, like, even if we wanted to play it, the queue times tend to be super long, because the format's not very popular on Magic Online. It's not one we're playing right now, but it might be good later. Coffees for closers, and Gideon's interested in getting himself a cup of joe. Swing for 9, gain 2. They just draw a card here. That'd be so good for us. Spellcaller, sure. Gideon could be dead if they have a Lord. But if they have a Lord, I can smash for 4 and then Languish them. So, like, that feels pretty good. Yeah, it does show blue text. You can also see, like, loyalty behind me. There are in fact a lot of Gideons. Yep. Okay. Looking for that 5th land so we can play Ob Nixilis, kill Spellqueller, Noxious Grasp, the other thing. Wonder if they're gonna pressure Gideon here. Nope, they still feel like they can't, which is good for us. I think I just do this, right? And like, plus Gideon, put them to 2. I would like to not kill my Gideon, thanks. Some people were talking about Languish versus Kaya's Wrath. Languish was better there. Edge case, but, you know, there's going to be a lot of edge cases in Magic. Daily release ready software joke because I lose my winning into Mythic to a client disconnect. Can you really not get back in? I thought they were supposed to have addressed that. Did it not let you reconnect or you just not reconnect fast enough? The Aura Tog, thanks for the 17 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. You've been a good one wherever you are. They could have another Blessed Alliance. Just rattle chain steal. Yeah, I think I might leave the Languish in the sideboard. I might just replace these Realm-Cloaked Giants with Kaya's Wraths. I think that. We would have won the first match in this league if Realm-Cloaked Giant had been Kaya's Wrath. And you did. So we're 2-1 now. Every deck I build gradually becomes mono green. Hey, Hippity, are you gonna play Pioneer this weekend in Wisconsin? If they flip the tournament? NRG said they were probably gonna post today if that was gonna happen or not. They are okay. So my sponsor, Nerd Rage Gaming, if you're gonna be in the Madison, Wisconsin area this weekend, or could get to the Madison, Wisconsin area, they're having a 5K, Pioneer 5K this weekend. One of our wonderful subs said they're gonna mail me the bulk of the deck. I literally just jumped into your stream for the blue-green Eldrazi deck. My team and I will be there. Oh, you can just hand it to me? Like the whole thing? That would be sick. I was actually just messaging someone saying, hey, mail me the cards, but if you can hand me a physical copy, I would prefer not to deal with the mail. That's perfect. If you could DM me, we can work it out. That'd be great. Do you trust someone who smokes PCP? The hard questions. Risen Reef. I did get CEO. I did get approval from my boss. My boss did in fact approve it. I'm just gonna Sorin. And plus here. What does Emblem do? You get an opponent sacrifices a creature at the beginning of each turn. That's pretty good. What if they're a Spellqueller deck? They could be a Spellqueller deck. Deal. I smoke. If you're in the subs Discord, messaging me through there is ideal. I appreciate it. Hopefully they attack with this so I can trade here and then Realm-Cloaked Giant next turn. The upside to Realm-Cloaked Giant versus Kaya's Wrath is they can't Spellqueller my Realm-Cloaked Giant. Double Voice is gross. He says before he draws Declaration in Stone. Are you saying play good cards? Do you think you could put a Dig Through Time in the Eldrazi deck that would help? I don't think that deck has a problem. I don't think that deck has a problem with those decks. In fact, I think part of the appeal of that deck is it gets to smash through those types of decks. Did we just die? I think we might have just died. Alright, I'm going to cast this Murderous Rider. Hopefully they attack in with this Voice of Resurgence here, so I can block and then trade for the token. Even if it just keeps the voices at home, though, it's, like, worth putting the Murderous Rider into play. Ulamog is legal in this format, Nulamog. So I don't get to kill the voice tokens with the Deccan Stone because if my opponent messes up, I can kill the tokens with the Deccan Stone, but they get to choose the order they stack their triggers here. So if they stack them appropriately, which they did here, so I get the option to cast Deccan Stone before the voice triggers come back in. Should have attacked first to gain 2. Yeah, probably. I'm gonna get re-Spellquellered. That's so rude. Yeah, I'm down 2 points of life that I could have otherwise had here. Brutal. Third spell queller is kind of a beating. Well, if we can find a removal spell for this spell queller and unlock our lifelink. Contagion, I believe I'm covered. Smoke, are you still here? You can hand me the blue-green Eldrazi deck on Saturday. Opponent just drew Brazen Borrower. So if I'd have gained 2 here, I'd have better blocks this turn. Perfect. Yeah, it sounds like I'm good, actually, Contagion. So third spell queller into Rip Brazen Borrower after I miss gaining 2 life, it probably means we're dead. Because if I would have blocked better, I wouldn't have to throw away this 1/1 flyer, which means I could block Brazen Borrower next turn. Yeah. So. And actually, the third history probably meant we would have killed them on the backswing. Yeah, that was unfortunate. So, small mistake compounded with a little bit of luck from them. It meant we were too far behind there. The takeaway there should be don't make mistakes. Let's bring in some more Doomblades, another sweeper. This is the list I settled on after playing yesterday for the Eldrazi deck. For other people who are interested in the person who's looking for cards for me. It's pretty close to what we played on stream. It's mostly just sideboard changes. Are you supposed to play Oko and Bant Company? I don't know, probably. I think we're probably have enough tools against Saheeli Cat. I want Reclamation Sage to kill Jeskai Ascendancy. I think that deck's real. I don't know what Void Grafter does. So, no thoughts on that. There's only one Reality Smasher because there's not room for more. Because you're also, like, not all in on being an aggro deck. I'm going to bottom Languish here. Just try and give him a history lesson on the play. Perfect. This means I can go 2-drop into 3-drop into 3-drop tapped land. Long time watcher on YouTube. Glad I can catch a live one. Great content. Hey, good to have you here, Snap Guide. Welcome. Thanks for checking out the YouTube stuff. Now, fingers crossed. Hopefully 100 people actually show up for this Nerd Rage tournament this weekend, and then Nerd Rage switches their team tournament to cut standard for Pioneer later this month. Would be ideal. Just never not infinite spell quellers, huh? Pioneer's great. This format's a huge breath of fresh air. That seems slow and clunky. Yeah, NRG announced this morning that they're switching their tournament to Pioneer this weekend. Standard is dead. I think we're dead at this point. I guess I could draw Giant. We've really not been good at drawing spells so far today. They had 100 people express interest in a Pioneer tournament. Now it'll be interesting to see how many actually show up. I really hope a bunch of people didn't screw with them. That would be not ideal. This is the burrito match. If we win, we're up $7. If we lose, we get only $5 back. I love that the standard decks are off your site and there's just 2 elk emojis in the Oko rep video. Hey, there's a deck list up there. There's a real deck list up there. There's no more deck lists for standard. I mean, they exist. I just wouldn't recommend playing any of them. The purpose of that page was supposed to be my recommended standard deck list, and I really honestly can't recommend playing non-Oko decks right now. And like, the Oko decks that are up there are worse than blue-green food. It's just the honest take on it. I can't believe Wizards is gonna let another Mythic Championship just be like mono crap. That's such a bad choice on their part. I get that they don't want to ban Oko, but they should have sucked it up and unbanned Field or like ban Nissa or Krasis or something. Just like do something. I don't know. I get to play Pioneer at least. I'm curious to see what the sub-survey looks like when I send it out tomorrow. Because for context, where's my last one? My September survey had looked like this. 94% of people said they were subbing to support Magic Arena content with Standard, and 58% said Standard was their favorite thing. So, if these numbers are similar, I'm going to be going back to doing a majority of Standard, because all my stuff is metrics driven. So, what the subs say when I send out the emergency survey tomorrow is going to dictate what the content looks like moving forward. Yeah, there's definitely going to be Pioneer decks up on the page eventually. It's not an emergency, you planned it? Sure. I gave you 4 days, right? Right, sorry. That survey got turned into an elk. How do you do metrics when all the numbers are 3 3s? Yeah. Gift subs do get to provide input. However, so like those metrics there aren't weighted for what sub level you are. I do kind of weight tier 3 more, like tier 2 and tier 3 more, and sub gifts less. So you're welcome to fill it out if you have a gift sub, but I definitely do weight your response a little bit less. No, Scooter, you have a crown and you have sub gifts, so like the people, that's one of the reasons why I asked for people to put their Twitch names down on there. It's partially so I can filter out people who aren't actually subbed responding, and also so I can like look at the people who give me piles of money and see what they want. As long as you aren't playing Modern, I'm happy. Good. Make sure you reflect that when I send it out tomorrow. Someone who works in market research, I appreciate you being metrics driven. I've handed people too many expensive reports they choose to ignore because they know best. Yeah, let's just see what the data says. Yeah, something else that's going to be on there too is there's going to be a question about the Mythgard content too, to see how the people who pay my bills are enjoying that or not. So if you've been enjoying Mythgard and maybe want to see a third afternoon of that a week, make sure you drop that on there too. My poor little knight. All right, they only have one Phoenix here, so it's not too big of a deal. I'll get to play a second history out this turn. Please put Kamigawa block tiny leaders on there. Nope. There's going to be a question about Brawl on the next one, which is why I'm waiting to play Brawl tomorrow so people can see some of my Brawl content before they vote. Thanks for the tier 1, Ninja Lord. I appreciate that. Yeah, History trigger Revolt next turn, which is nice. Although I kind of want to land because I want to like Gideon ally of Zendikar next turn ideally. Yeah, I agree, Falls. I think there's a number of people. My gut says there's a number of people who picked Standard as their favorite last time because the survey came out right after rotation. And I think there's a lot of people who are not going to pick that now that they've seen what Standard's turned into. Hey, thanks for the 4 months, Katana. I appreciate the support. Welcome back. All right, or we can just kill that one in a fire. I'm going to push this into turn. Yeah, I think having the overlay here is going to help a lot. Here's hoping at least. Yeah, the next ban and restricted update is until November 18th. Which means how long it takes for them to implement. We're looking at a minimum of 3 weeks before any changes happen in Standard. Which is a long time. Yeah, this format, outside of not being on Arena, this format is everything I wanted Historic to be. So this token again is a knight. So History of Benalia is going to power up this knight next turn, so we get to crack for 8 here. And then we'll have a big swing next turn too, which is great. Yeah, we could do that too. I think if people... I'm definitely going to be doing some Standard again next week. I just wanted to take 1 week off while the end of the season wraps up. And I think next week, even when we go back to doing some amount of Standard content, how much is going to be dictated by what the sub-survey says, but we're going to be doing at least some, and I might just concede to turn 2 Okos. Yeah, I agree. I have no desire to watch their Mythic like there are 2 Mythic Championships in a row where I have like no desire to watch. Which is sad. Normally those tournaments are supposed to be sweet and I'm supposed to be excited for them, but like we had one where we knew there was a ban coming immediately after, and now we have this next one where the same thing's happening again, right? So like I feel like the people making decisions don't understand how to get optimal viewer metrics and make people excited. Oko took over my Yu-Gi-Oh! LGS meta. Rough. Wow, they just activated Merchant of the Veil. That can't bode well for the contents of their hand. He's super dead. Do you have a Wild Slash? They don't have another Wild Slash like a Fiery Impulse. They are super dead. They definitely know how to up the viewer metrics, just pay for it. Ain't that the sad truth? Alright, well. What you got? Show me all secrets. I'm selling my 3 Okos to buy into a Pioneer. You might need your Okos for Pioneer. The problem with naming this Okotoberfest is that this format is going to continue to exist for all of November too, right? All right, so you're still dead, right, friendo? You're still dead. Yeah, I mean, if there's games of Standard you enjoy and you could just concede them, there's probably enough people playing bad decks on Magic Arena that, like, you can play decks that aren't actually very good and, like, still win plenty of games with them. I'd believe that. 10 out of 10 out of 10, believe that that could be the case. Realm-Cloaked's not good. Languish isn't very good. Deccan Stone seems fine. Yeah, we played Blue-Green Eldrazi yesterday, so you can always find all of my past videos on my website and my YouTube channel. There's deck lists in the video description. On the lower ranks, I really Soaker. Yeah, I believe that. Playing in Platinum, Diamond, Mythic tends to be different than playing in Silver, Diamond, Bronze. So the problem, CK Lau, is that the different cards have different... Can I find one? Is it Noxious Grasp that small? Some of these cards, if I make my camera bigger, it covers parts of the cards because they're not all evenly sized. Yeah, the thing behind me is showing the last card I've moused over. Thanks, Pricey. Yeah, I think it was a good improvement. I wish I would have done it sooner. But it is what it is, and it's done now, so we've got that at least. Yeah, I think 1-mana accelerants are definitely the core part of the problem with the current Standard format. Not close. Grazer and Goose. Oko plus Blot not his gas. Yeah, this is fine. It doesn't have a Rest in Peace in the opener, but it's got a Deccan Stone in case they have a bunch of Phoenixes. We've got relatively good pressure of our own here. Yeah, the fact that Thought Knot lines up well into the size of Elks is great. Yep, in for a 4th guaranteed land. We're just doing the best with what we can. Hey, look, there's a swamp where my picture fits perfectly inside the artwork because they're all differently sized. Hey, Flesh-Eaten Gnome, welcome back. The people want more rap, Jeff. I don't know about that. One of the tough parts about my job and like looking at the metrics and like trying to make driven decisions is that if I make a change on stream that like negatively impacts people that they don't like, I don't really see the results of that change for like a month because a lot of people are just gonna unsub quietly and leave. So like because subs work on a 30-day thing, I have to wait until like a decision happens, then things actually change in terms of income level. Do I play around actual factual spell pierce here? I feel like I don't. I think I just jam. That's a good draw. Yep, deal. So, Rest in Peace makes their Treasure Cruises bad. Turns off their Arc-Light Phoenixes. I think there's enough graveyard shenanigans in this format that you should probably be playing Rip in your decks if you can cast it, and you don't have graveyard stuff yourself. What do you mean, Jeff? People tell you all the time they're making terrible mistakes. Yeah. They used to, it still gets to me to a degree when people are annoying like that, but to a degree these days I can just, like, look at my sub count and know that, like, you know, we're probably doing okay. We're probably making okay choices. Wild Slash, my 2/2 token. Yep, deal. We can get, like, a 3-for-1 on this Gideon. That sounds great. Left my keys in the apartment. Brutal. That wasn't the untapped land I wanted for Christmas. All right, so we hit the 3-2. Thoughts on this. Realm-Cloaked Giant was worse than a better sweeper would have been, I think. So I think I would cut that. I think I would play some Kaya's Wrath. I'm not sure that I would play the full 3 Kaya's Wrath. I might play like 2 main and a third in the sideboard. I think these Collective Brutalities are probably dumb and unnecessary. They've been kind of middling. There's aren't really places I want to board them in. I think Heart of Kiran is probably a mistake to not be playing in this deck. There's a card that lets you crew off of Planeswalker Loyalty, which seems super powerful. It's another card that lets you proactively kill people too. So maybe go down to like 2 Orzhov Enforcer and play some of those. I can also see a world where like Orzhov Enforcer in general just isn't good enough, but that card was also pretty okay in general. So if you wanted to get rid of Orzhov Enforcer, if you want to try other things, Ultimate Price and Cast Down are both reasonable 2-mana removal spells you can play. The core of this felt very reasonable though. We just have like a lot of good Magic cards. Both History of Benalia, Gideon Ally of Zendikar close games out very quickly. Heart of Kiran's another card that helps do that as well. In fact, with these hearts, Gideon of the Trials here is a card that doesn't fuel Heart well, and he's kind of awkward multiples. Maybe I trim that and get another Ob Nix in here. And honestly, more hearts could even be correct. That card seems really good. Really good in general. It's one that's been impressive for us. All right, so we've got one